Hey there, good Friday morning and welcome back to Dakota News Now. It is time for another edition of Owning Your Outdoors, and joining me as always is Doug Schroeder from Lewis. And today, Doug, we're talking about a little bug that a lot of people don't really like.
No, it's become a huge problem across this country. Thus far, the emerald ash borer has killed 100 million ash trees in 35 states throughout the country.
So I'm assuming that it's not native to the United States. So how'd it get here? It
came here. It was another import from China, ironically. 2002, it was detected in Detroit, and since then it's spread all over the place. Sioux Falls was one of the first locations found in South Dakota in, I think, 1998. And since then, we're in a quarantine.
So what are some ways that you can tell if you have an ash borer infestation?
First of all, look at the canopy of the tree. A lot of times you'll notice a canopy die out. It'll start getting thinner and not as lush as it used to be. But be careful, there's other reasons that can cause that. So it's not necessarily emerald ash borer if you see that. Second are woodpeckers. Woodpeckers love the larvae of emerald ash borer, and they'll start pecking away, and what you'll get is like a blonding of the bark. So that's another sure sign. The third sure sign is if you see vertical cracking in the bark of smaller ash trees. So that would be the other indication that you may have emerald ash borer.
So obviously ash trees, ash is in the name, so it should also help for us to kind of take a look at an ash tree just to see what they look like, to see if you have one.
Yes, let's take a look at it now.
So Doug, we've taken a little bit of a jaunt, so we have an ash tree here. So what are some telltale signs that this is an ash tree?
An ash tree usually has a diamond-shaped cutting in the bark, so you can tell it's very distinctive, the type of bark that's on an ash tree. Secondly, ash tree leaves. You notice how you have one big leaf, but you have oval leaves coming off of it. So that's really an indication that all your ash trees are multi-leaved, either 5 or 9 are the numbers that I usually see on an ash tree leaf. So those are things to look at to indicate if you have an ash tree in your yard.
So what are some ways that we can treat the ash tree if we do have ash borer symptoms?
The best way to treat an ash tree, and what is approved by the city of Sioux Falls, is having your tree injected, where they actually come in and inject a solution into your tree that will protect the tree. Other less successful ways are there's a soil drench you can pour around your tree, and that is absorbed into the root system and into your tree and protects the tree. Third one is a systemic spray. You spray the bark of the tree, and the tree absorbs it and brings it up through and protects the tree. One more that I'd like to talk about. I think in Sioux Falls and throughout the state, we should look at our population in our yards of what we have for trees. If you have a lot of ash trees, look them over. Maybe there's 2 you want to get rid of and plant something new. Diversity is something that we really need to pay attention to in our yards and in our city forest.
So what are some of the steps that local governments are trying to do to help curb the spread?
Sioux Falls right now is doing boulevard cuts. So if you have an ash tree that you have not protected in your boulevard, they will come in and take it down. They will remove the tree, remove the stump for you. But if you have it protected by a professional, they'll let the city know and that tree will stay. That is the direction right now. They've been in the southwest part of town. They'll be moving to the southeast part of town. One other thing, Aaron, I should point out, if you do want to remove an ash tree after Labor Day, and then Memorial Day is your cutoff the next year, never cut a tree down this time of year. It'll just move the emerald ash borer to another tree, to another neighborhood. So wait till Labor Day to actually remove a tree.
Some good tips on how to take care of our ash trees and watch out for emerald ash borer. We're going to have all this information online at dakotanewsnow.com. In the meantime, stick around. Fastcast is coming up next.